With that very important message from His Holiness Loknath Maharaj, we will now like to bring VIPLAVAH to a formal close. And as is courtesy, before we bring it to a formal close, I'd like to thank the various devotees who made this symposium possible. If we can take this table down. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you who've gathered here and come here. And it is your presence that inspires us to conduct. It's your presence which inspires us to conduct this symposium for the second time. And each time we're attempting to bring in new speakers and educators who can address even more diverse topics of education, sometimes even controversial topics, because where else, if not in the assembly of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, should such topics be discussed? The intention of the symposium to bring such topics is not to create a controversy for the sake of controversy, because this is a private sort of a gathering with the hope that it's amongst mature devotees who would address those topics, grab those topics and churn them for the future. So I'd like to thank all of you. If we can give each other a round of applause for just being present here. Thank you. Then there are, of course, the speakers who give their valuable time. And as this format is not usual within ISKCON, for ISKCON speakers to speak within 20 minutes, they have to spend considerable amount of time, and it is noted that several speakers spend a lot of time in preparing for these talks and coming and sharing with us. And our hope is that next time we can invite more speakers. We like to keep the same sort of a format. And this time the speakers who did grace this podium and addressed the educators are in the order that they presented. I'd like to recount their names just as a matter of thanking them from my heart and also my mind. Srila Prabhu, who gave the inaugural address, His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj, His Grace Gaur Krishna Prabhu from Russia, His Grace Gopi Gita Mataji from United States, His Holiness Bhakti Ajaba Priti Vardhan Maharaj, and His Grace Madhava Gauranga Prabhu from Mayapur and the Gurukul here, Bhaktivedanta Academy. Then His Grace Kalakanta Prabhu, the Minister for Corporate Protection, and His Grace Giriraj Sakha Prabhu, who came all the way from Gujarat just for these 2 days. His Grace Leela Purushottam Prabhu, who gave a wonderful talk on consciousness in education. He also just came for these talks, so he's here for just 1.5 days for this talk. We have His Grace Pranava Prabhu, who I shared with you from Sweden. This was his first speaking after almost 1 year, 2 years. He didn't speak. And he was so inspired and inspiring for us that he came here and he spoke almost after 2 years on Vaishnavism and religion. Then Her Grace Devaki Mataji, His Holiness Yadunanda Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Rasayan Sagar Maharaj, His Grace Manorama Prabhu, the Minister for Youth Ministry. This morning we heard from Ashray Krishna Prabhu about the wonderful initiative in Delhi, and on that I must mention that Ashray Krishna Prabhu and his team, including Ajita Govinda Prabhu, they came just for this. So there are several devotees who are gathered here who just come to and participate in this symposium, and that does give us a lot of inspiration to see that happen. Thank you so much. Thank you also to Ajita Govinda Prabhu. I like to mention, a lot of you may not know, but today the books that he's compiled are now being used in 150 schools all over India. 150 schools. And on an average, if we were to take about 1,000 students are benefiting from his value education books, which imbibes Krishna consciousness. There are close to 150,000 kids who he's touching through his books. And now he's publishing them in Hindi, and it is being adopted in government schools. Yes, Prabhu? So that's Ajita Govinda Prabhu. If you can please stand up. A very, very reserved and shy personality. I have to really request him to speak. And next time he is going to grace the occasion, share with us the wonders he's created. But 150,000 kids and 150 schools, and it's growing. Last year when I spoke to him, they were going to pilot it in 30 and 40 schools, right, Prabhu? Last January. Now it's already gone to 150 in a matter of 1.5 years, less. And then after that, His Grace Narasimha Kavacha Prabhu, our Minister for Deity Worship, spoke. Then we had His Holiness Bhaktidhir Damodar Goswami, Bhaktidhir Damodar Maharaj, His Grace Prana Prabhu, who once again has joined this after a long time, fully recovered or almost fully recovered from his health. And he's here with his good wife and Krishnendu Prabhu, who also launched a wonderful product, Bhakti Learning. We had the opportunity to also from His Grace Srivas Prabhu from West Africa, who is joined by Devotees Prabhu, who is here now in Mayapur, but originally from France. His Grace Atul Krishna Prabhu spoke. And after that, we had a very wonderful talk by Mahatma Prabhu, and then Pancharatna Prabhu, who are present here, and His Grace Narasimhananda Prabhu, who's still here with us. And we, in between, had the good fortune to also hear from His Holiness Subhag Maharaj, who came in and gave a very, very inspiring talk. And in the end, we heard from His Holiness Loknath Maharaj that how education never ends. I mean, to have had an opportunity to hear from 24, 25 Vaishnavas on the topic of education, I consider that a very, very, very inspirational and very successful outcome for the last 36 hours that at least I've spent in my life. And I hope that all of you also had a similar experience. If you did, then please give a round of applause for the speakers. The devotees who actually, thank you, Maharaj, the devotees who actually helped us organize this, we have, I like to request them to please come on the stage. We have Bhaktin Maven and Bhakta Hugo. Believe it or not, but they spent all their morning, yesterday and today, manning the desk by themselves and helping us register. And please, Prabhu. And I'm inspired by this service attitude. I'm really inspired by this service attitude. In fact, when everybody else was sitting here, after 3 hours or so of sessions were going on, I went out and I saw that they were still sitting on the reception. I said, Prabhu, Mataji, please come inside now. Most of the registrations are done. Very sincere. Thank you so much. Vasudev Krishna Prabhu, who's not here, but he helped us a lot. Raja Lakshmi Mataji helped us a lot in setting up. Chetan Prabhu, please come on stage. Chetan Prabhu, he arrived a day earlier. He came just to help in setting up various services and activities. And we also had the good fortune of his wife, Disha Mataji, without whose help a lot of it, what we are having here, would not be possible. I do owe a big thank you to the broad-mindedness of the ILS organizers and Lakshmi Mani Mataji, particularly, whose help I took to get this venue. And those of you who are living in Mayapur, you realize it's very difficult to get a place around this time. So we evaluated all venues. We were not able to get a place. So about 2-3 months back, then I agreed that we could utilize this place. It's comfortable. So thank you to that. I'd also like to thank Narasimhatirtha Prabhu. Where is he? Okay. Narasimhatirtha Prabhu, please come on the stage. It's unimaginable how much running around Narasimhatirtha Prabhu has undertaken in the last 4 or 5 days. And literally anything that I have a difficulty with, I just request Narasimhatirtha Prabhu, can you address it? The last one was 15 minutes back. Can you request all the volunteers to come in? Thank you, Narsingatitha Prabhu. And Bhakti Chaitanya Prasad, who's also run around. You may find him thin and petite, but he has the ability to lift that 40-gallon, that big box of water and pour it for you, and that's kept us going all these days. So, and I'd also like to thank my dear wife, Indira Sakhi Devidasi, who did help in many, many regards in putting this together. You can please come on stage. Okay. All right. She's exercising a different kind of shyness. All of this that we conduct here is made only by the mercy of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. We must never forget that. It's by his inspiration that we all get together. In our own ways, we're trying to do something in education. So we are eternally indebted to him. Thank you. Now, I had one more objective for this symposium, which is, I'm not sure if it is fulfilled, okay? And we have the last 13 minutes to fulfill that, which is the following. We want to make it a personal symposium. We want to make sure that when you come here, you meet with at least 4 or 5 devotees or educators. Thank you so much. That you meet with at least 4 or 5 devotees that you've not met before in your life. Right? Now, if you permit, and until the prasadam comes, which is going to arrive at 7 o'clock, and we are catering prasadam for everyone. With your permission, as a closure event, I would like you to make that extra effort. I'm not going to ask you to stand up and jump or do anything else, but I'm only going to request you, if you can please connect with 5 devotees or educators here who you otherwise do not know. Believe it or not, your contact with them and their contact with you is just going to make the education within ISKCON stronger. If the educators talk to each other, if we connect with each other, the many things that we're doing, they are going to become more powerful. So how many of you feel comfortable with this idea that for the next 7-8 minutes, all we do is, it's informal. In fact, if you see somebody who's sitting and not willing to, they're a little bit shy, they're hesitant, make a special effort to go and meet with them, right? How many of you give me this permission that I can conduct this last deliverable for this symposium? If you do, then please raise your hands. How many in support of this motion? How many opposed? How many abstaining? All right, so it seems like it's unanimous. So at 7 o'clock, we'll be serving you prasadam. Next year, on the 4th and 5th of March, we hope to hold the symposium again. 4th and 5th of March will be right after SGGS, the Sangha of Sannyasis, Gurus, GBCs, and it's going to be a day or 2 before the Shravanutsav. So that is the date. Now you all have your mobile phones. You can please note down this date now. Share it with your friends. We will send you out a notice. And we hope to see you again in VIPLAVAH 2021. With thanks to all of you and thanks to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.